Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. I am your host, Camila. I am so excited tonight again for the guest that's going to be on tonight. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. It is the name of the show. Of course, again, Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. We are live on Spotify. We are live on my Facebook page. Um, and I'm so glad to be in the, of course, land of the living. A lot of people don't have that testimony today. And the most important part of my show is I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, and one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It has been proven over and over again since this show has begun. And so I have my guest here. She is on time. I love it. She's early. I love it. And I am sharing right now to our Facebook page so people will be able to see it. And I'm going to tell her story and the little bio she sent me. Also, I want to tell you again how I know the person. So I've never met her in person, but she's related to Main Event, who said, listen, sis, I got somebody that you need to talk to. And so we chit-chatted for a hot second, changed the phone numbers, emails, and all of that good stuff. And in my spirit, she feels like we are related. Yes. Every now and then I say, hey, cuz, what you doing? How you feeling today? And so in our little kindred spirits, we have been connecting on that vibe right there. So Ameerah, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Good. You got it right.
Abdur Rahman?
Yes, Abdur Rahman. Yes, you got that.
And so I'm a stickler for names. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to get this name right. Because
I appreciate it. Yes, I appreciate that. Some people don't, they'll just go ahead and jack your name up. But as simple as I think my name is, people tend to mess it up quite often. So thank you.
We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. So according to this, and I got excited by reading this bio for a couple of reasons. The educational part of it, and then what she stands for got me super, super excited. And I told you, we already had the vibes like we're cousins. So I was all over the place. So I had to calm down so I could read this. And so it says, she hails from Elizabeth, New Jersey. She's an alumni of William Patterson University. Her major was communication and journalism. Her minor was in African American and Caribbean studies. She's a graduate alumni of Ashford University, where her major was organizational management, human resources, specialization in leadership, style consultant, a blogger, motivational runway coach, and creative director as just some of her titles. Now, I said some of her titles, and just to name a few of them. So according to Mara LLC, it's her brand she created back in 2014 as an outlet for creative expression, labeled as a vibe lifestyle brand. According to Mara, aims to inspire individuals through motivational workshops, networking events, and services. One of her workshops, which I got excited about, was Walk It Like You Talk It. Puts a fun, creative spin on traditional one-way instructions. Skip down some. And it says, the Walk It Like I Talk It aims to uplift women by reminding them of their divine feminine power and the importance of walking through life with confidence in addition to runway basics, which I love. We just had somebody on there not too long ago about your confidence in doing runways. So I'm super, super excited about that. So the next part was, and her latest venture is Mara Wasted. created in 2020. She is educating Black women on the history of African culture and waist beads and why they're important piece to our story. Protecting the legacy of ancient African treasures and uniting women is the mission. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff on here, but that right there, what I just read, is enough for us to get started in eating on all this jewel that we have in front of us. So, of course, everybody, please welcome her. A warm welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I'm like, I've been working virtual, probably working from home virtually for 2 years now. So I feel like this is just becoming just the norm of communication. You know what I mean? So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Shout out to my uncle.
I'm beyond excited because of I'm a stickler for education. I'm a stickler for uniting people together. That is my call. Part of it is connecting. And to see someone else doing it in their version of it is very exciting. It's very uplifting, and I'm excited to hear why you got into these things. How'd you get into these things? What's the motivation to keep pushing you to do what you do?
Well, you know what? That's a loaded question. It's so much stuff. It's so many things going on right now. So many things happening in the world. But I started, according to Ameerah, I started that blog, like I said, back in 2014. And I had just got back here from Chicago. I lived in Chicago briefly. I moved there for a job that didn't work out, but enjoyed the experience. But when I came back, I felt like, you know, I was working freelance, doing things that I wanted to do. However, I just didn't feel like I was expressing myself creatively. And I've just always been an artistic child, a lover of the arts, you know, and dancing and, you know, doing plays and musicals. So if I'm not doing that, I start to feel just a little discombobulated, like that I have to express myself artistically. So, you know, fast forward however many years later, now it's 2021. And I just feel like every job and every position that I've ever had in life, like everything is starting to make sense now. And, you know, according to Ameerah, like I said, it's kind of transformed into a vibe lifestyle brand. I don't know if you've heard that term or not, but I'm sure in the next few years, or not even that long, maybe in the next few months, you probably will hear more about what vibe lifestyle brands are. And it's basically anything that makes you feel good. Any type of brand that promotes positivity and just making people feel good about themselves, you know, mind, body, spirit, everything. And that's what my brand represents. Just, you know, living your best life, as cliche as that sounds right now, but seriously, living your best life and just doing whatever you want that to make yourself feel better, you know, and just embracing yourself, your image, just everything about yourself. And yeah, it's been a journey. It really has. And now Ameerah Wasted that's a whole nother chapter. You know what I mean? And I am just like living in it right now because it's been a beautiful experience. And, you know, I've always worn waist beads, you know, throughout my life, but I feel like when I was wearing them, you know, like in college or just buying them, I didn't really know the purpose and the meaning of them. And, you know, being a lover of history and African studies, you know, like I just love history, but African studies is, you know, my area that I love so much, you know, just anything about African culture from all the diasporas is just what I enjoy. So now, you know, when I basically met a woman from Ghana and, you know, she just started talking to me about them and giving me a lot of history on what they mean in her country, because they represent different things depending on what African country, you know, you go to. But I just fell in love and I just, you know, started doing more research on them and trying to look into what they mean in different countries. And it just opened my world up into something completely different. And I just saw how it started connecting me to different women as far as, you know, us relating about just everyday issues that we face as women. You know what I mean? Like, just when I'm fitting women in waist beads, it's just kind of like a session, I feel like, where, you know, you start to open up, you know, and then it's like, you know what, we go through the same things. So just promoting body positivity, but also teaching women about the history of waist beads and how they are really African treasures for us, you know, that date all the way back to ancient Egyptian times. So I'm like, we're the descendants, we're the offspring of, you know, the African people that were brought here. So, you know, this is still our, just as much as our culture too. It is our culture, you know, but I don't want us to be, you know, ignorant to what they really mean, you know. So that's kind of been my mission, and just bringing women together, trusting each other, networking, just growing. And yeah, it's been a good experience.
A lot of times we're, as younger women, we tend to look outside for the acceptance as well as what's in, and we go with that, not necessarily about the history, not necessarily about the fad. It's who's the famous person right now wearing this. I need to go get this because Cardi B wearing it, or whatever the case may be. I personally never had any beads. I was never into none of that. That wasn't something anybody around me really was really into. And so when I saw the information, I said, waist beads, what is that? Like, you know, and the first thing in my mind was like the chains, like and I'm like, okay, so you would have to educate me, or, you know, our listeners, because a lot of people, again, if they're not into it, or they're not into or around anyone who would explain what a waist bead is, what's the purpose to it, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna, you know, and telling that. And so when you said educate our women with the culture, that was exciting to me. So now, again, when we have the understanding that it's important to learn and be open. Yes. Every day, you learn something new every day. And so I'm here as a student to be taught from a teacher who not only got it from someone else, the actual descendant of, but this is a product that she sells and wears and believes in. So now we have someone on here to actually educate us, because I have no clue and no idea.
And you know what? I hear that every day. I hear that, you know, even at the shows that I do, any parties that I do. And that is why, because I think that with, you know, growing up Black, a lot of times, you know, if you got a Black mother, Black grandmother, auntie, or whatever, and they're like, okay, what is that you're putting on your body? You know, they want to make sure it ain't no like type of voodoo heebie-jeebie stuff, you know, whatever you want to say, get me. And, you know, it's funny. However, I'm like, you still have to have an open mind, you know, when you're talking about waist beads, because ultimately we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings in a physical realm right now. You know what I mean? But the waist beads that I sell are from Ghana. So traditionally in Ghana, waist beads are adorned on women and celebrated often in marriage. So if a woman gets married, her husband can pick out her waist beads, and the more lavish the waist beads are, it's like his love for you, you know. So they made their glass beads, and they're threaded onto a fisherman's yarn, you know. So it's pretty durable. It's pretty
Yeah.
durable. But yeah, waist beads are put on young girls too. That's something that, I get a lot of moms that come with their daughters. The daughters may say, Mom, can I get a waist bead? And they're like, no, because that's fresh, or I may hear things like that. But I'm like, okay, can I educate you? You just have to be open-minded and, take the sex out of it, I feel like. And when you go back to your African roots, like I said, waist beads, they represent femininity, self-awareness. So, as women, like I said, our bodies go through a lot of changes. So oftentimes if, women, young girls get their menses, they get their period, you get a waist bead because it's a becoming of age. It's, a rite of passage. You know what I mean? If a woman gets pregnant, that's another milestone in life. You get waist beads, anything, it's whatever the milestone is that you want to celebrate as a woman, you can put a waist bead on. You get me? So it's, waist beads are used as a celebration. And like I said earlier, waist beads you can find waist beads painted on women in hieroglyphics, so they go all the way back to ancient Egyptian times. And this is how important, usually women of status, the king, queens wore them, but, that just lets you know how far back it goes. So I'm like, we need to celebrate this. We need to celebrate this. So I love, having waist bead parties and, different, when I do waist bead appointments, I love doing the education piece to it. And I always start with, have you ever worn waist beads? Do you know the history of them? Before, some people do, some people don't. But either way, before I put anything on your body, I just want to make sure that you understand it, because I think give it a year or so, I feel like I see waist beads getting a little mainstream now, and you're seeing superstars wearing them. And I'm like, you know what, this is the time for us as women and Black women, brown women as well, to just take back, what is ours. And that is, I mean that 100%, because next thing you know, you'll see waist beads hanging in H&M and Forever 21 and all kinds of stuff. So that's just my mission, is to educate the African American women of the diaspora here, because it just comes full circle, like I said. So yeah, I want people to know that this is a luxury. These jewelry that you think is just, something, that you see women wearing as a piece of jewelry. Yes, it is jewelry, but this is an African luxury, and I will present it just like that every time.
Wow. And that's very important to educate us again, because if I'm not around it, I don't know anyone personally who wears them. And I was a person that's not really into belts. So that's not the first, like, okay, let me go get some waist beads. No. Let me go get a belt. No, that's not, so because I know now, it's okay. So is there a particular color that they come in for certain things? Like, okay, I just turned 40, even though I didn't. So are we saying, okay, is this your favorite color that what is it?
Yes, I always say you have to go pick whatever your mind goes to first. Whatever you see and your heart just attracts you to that, I say go with that as a first pick. So I have all kinds of so I have waist bead starter packs, and oh my gosh, I apologize. But I have, waist bead starter packs, what I call them. And, a lot of people that have never worn waist beads, there are 2 waist beads that come inside of the pack. And, they're more of a smaller bead. And I say start there first, so you can see how they feel on you. And then I have, bigger beads that, just are a little bit more, I'm going to say a little bit more fabulous as far as the detailing of the beads. They may be a little bit bigger. So sometimes people don't know how they are going to feel in it. So I say start with a starter pack. Now, waist beads serve multiple purposes. They serve multiple purposes, and that's the beauty of them. One of the beauties of them. So let's just say you want to just wear them because you want to track your waistline. You want to track how much weight you're losing or how much weight you're gaining. I'll make sure that I put them on, not too tight, but they're going to hug on you just a little bit so that when you eat, if you feel yourself eating too much or overeating, they're going to snug on you. They're going to get a little bit uncomfortable on you. Not to the point when you're screaming, you get me, but it'll just tell you to stop. And that, I feel like when I say they represent self-awareness, they literally make you more aware of your body. And, that is something that we should be aware of in the amount of food that we consume. So I think that, they're just really, really great. And they just keep you in line. They really do. And I remember I seen, there was an African woman and she literally had waist beads. Her shape was just like an hourglass, and she told me, she was like, I've been getting waist beads since I was 13 years old, and you keep them, and if they break, it served its purpose, you get more, and that's the beauty of them. But they also help to shape her waist, because all these years she's been wearing waist beads, even living in Africa as a child, up until coming here. She had worn waist beads her whole life. So, it's a natural girdle, essentially. So when you take them off, and if you wear them long enough, and like I said, the more you put on them, depending on what the purpose that you like to wear them for, the more you put on, I'm telling you, they just get, so it's a little addicting, just a little addicting, because they're so pretty. But yeah, that was just so beautiful to me to see. And I'm just like, you've been getting waist beads for how long? She's like, since I was 12 or 13 years old, so I'm telling you, they're great.
So with those are the purpose of a part of fashion, or also like having them under your clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or you can do both.
And you know what? That's a good question too, because traditionally, and I have to say this, your waist beads are not to be shown. It's not something, yeah. Pretty much any African culture, they'll probably tell you the same thing. They're not to be seen. And even when you get married, that's just something, or if you're married, that's something between you and your spouse to share.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you wear them underneath your clothes 9 times out of 10. And I wear a lot of different clothing materials, stretchy. You don't see them, you don't really see them at all. I'm going to say if you do wear something super duper form fitting, maybe it's a possibility, but 9 times out of 10, I have been wearing waist beads, like I said, for quite some time now, in all kinds of clothing, and no one ever knows that I have waist beads on. So
I was thinking, until I asked this question, I was thinking that those were like, okay, I got on blue today, I want to pop something out with to go with my outfit. I was not thinking that this is actually something that goes under your clothes that no one else has to see.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? You can get some that are removable, but I put mine on traditionally, and traditionally it's you have to tie them on, and it's a tie cut, and then you burn the tip of it and just roll it a little bit so that it seals it, and they're on you permanently. But if you want to have them removed, we can do that as well. It just takes a longer, I'm going to say maybe like a 1 to 3 business day for you to get them back, because to add the removable clasp on them. So listen, being claustrophobic is real. So I get a lot of customers who ask that question. Listen, I'm a little claustrophobic. Listen, I understand. Maybe we should try a removable class for you, just in case you start to feel like you don't want to feel restricted, So it's options. And it's some people that just want to commit to it. They want to try it the traditional way. And they say, you know what, just put it on me. And I'm like, listen, if you don't like it, just cut it off. Just cut it off. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, cut it off. But I say you have to try it. You have to try it. Give it at least a week. And after a week, you won't even notice you have them on. Guarantee.
Wow. So yeah, my mind was thinking more so the fashion part of it versus this is a sacred, it's a jewel, and it almost put me also in the mindset since when women who starts early was almost like a not chastity belt, but something of that nature. Especially when you said, your husband gets to pick out once you're married that he chooses the bees for you. And I was like,
Yes.
Wow.
Listen, it's deep. It really, really is. And listen, I'm telling you, through this experience, I've just been like, I'm in the process of doing my own ancestry, like trying to get back. Like it's all led me up to this point. I feel like, what I'm doing right now. So I'm doing the legwork myself before I do like a test or something or a kit.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But the Ghanaian woman that, my mentor, she was talking to me and she's like, listen, back when I was a little girl, and I'm going to say she's probably in her late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, back in when I was a little girl, and you got married and your husband picked out your waist beads. She's like, God forbid you were not being faithful. You get me? So then I just stopped. Exactly. Shook. So she says, if two men got into a dispute or something and they say, I was with your wife or whatever. And he says, okay, well, if you were with my wife, what do her waist beads look like? Yeah. Because once again, traditionally, they're not supposed to be shown. So if a man was able to identify your wife's waist beads, then it's a possibility that she wasn't being faithful. And I was just like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So
wow,
that was an interesting thing for me to learn. Definitely. I'm just like, wow.
So this also puts me in the mindset of in the Egyptian movies, even though this was the mummy, right? Yeah. And they had
I love that movie.
Yeah, me too. So they had the paintings on her. Mm-hmm. And when the husband came in, they thought they had got away with it, and they noticed some the fingerprints on her body, like she's not supposed to be touched. Mm-hmm. And so when they noticed that, they knew something was going on. So again, this is the part of why it's important to be educated on not just doing something because someone else is doing it, but to really find out that this really has very not only sentimental, it's sacred, and also it's a part of your heritage. Again, without questions, again, I thought this was okay. Let me go in the store, buy some waist beads that go with my outfit. I'm gonna put it on like a belt. I'm just saying.
Listen, this is why we having this conversation. I'm telling you, I feel like we've been talking already for like months.
So a person stepping in, and I'm like interested because now I'm like, okay, I want to work on my figure. I want to have an hourglass, maybe I don't know what about an hourglass, but however, so we could work on, like you said, the bees can help with stop eating because your stomach's about to get cut up because you eat too much.
I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so I actually one of my line sisters, actually, she is very into nutrition. She is like a nutrition guru. You know, she was very heavy set, you know, when we were in college, and she, you know, lost a lot of weight, you know, over 100 pounds, and completely just changed her life around. So we've kind of connected to have, you know, different nutritional events, you know, where you learn about fitness, learn about, you know, your body, and then I come in with the waist bead portion, and it's just, you know, an option for you to try, you know, if you're serious about losing weight, you know, and you want to track your weight and you're serious about it, you know what? Okay, let's get you some waist beads, and they're going to help you on your fitness journey. So it's a good collaboration that we've been doing for a few months now. And like I said, if you want to lose weight, I think that the waist beads are like the best way to go, because I'm going to say I probably have on like 10 right now. I probably have on about 10. But I'm doing my part. Like I said, you have to do your part too. If you're doing your part, trying to, you know, drink more water. This quarantine has had us all out here cutting up, just eating all kinds of ways. And I'm like, okay, Ameerah, now I want to start before the new year, and I'm just trying to, you know, get my life back together, you know. So in that process, you know, if you put a waist bead around your waist and you do it, you know, to the right spot, you know, you fit it to the right spot. After a time, once you start to eat better and you're starting to work out a little bit, walking or doing whatever you're doing, that waist bead is going to start to loosen up on you. It's going to start dropping. It's going to start dropping. And that's how you're going to be able to track your progress to see, okay. And then you can like say every 5 or 10 pounds that you lose, you want to put another waist bead on, you know, in a different spot. So I have kind of like a layering technique that will help layer like around your stomach area. If you have a little extra loving down here, you know, we can go down that far, because when you eat, your stomach is going to expand. And if you're eating too much, it's going to expand on that waist bead. Okay. And you don't want to be sitting down feeling like you are a roast. Okay. You don't want to feel like you tied up like that. You know what I mean? So that is the most uncomfortable feeling for me, but it's going to push you to say, you know what? Let me step back.
Okay.
Let me step back, you know? So, yeah.
So how do you do that being you're in New Jersey, I'm here. So yes. How do you do that?
Okay. So, I am in the process right now of working on my website. But right now I do have instructional kits. So it's a good thing, because after we are off here, I want you to send me your information, and I want to send you some waist beads. And if you want me to put a removable clasp on you, I'll walk through with you of how you can measure your waist from where you're at. Send me your measurement, and I can get them for you that way.
Okay.
So right now I can send it to you in like a nice kit. But once I get my website up and running, you'll be able to actually see an actual physical tutorial on how to, you know, do the waist beads yourself.
My friend is texting me right now. She says she wants some beads.
I got you.
I'm serious about really losing weight. I was telling someone most of the time it's not necessarily me going into a gym. It's more so the discipline part. I'll be going good, and then let something hit. I'm going back to eating. And you know, you want to break the cycles. You want to get out of that. You want to not keep going back and forth. You know, your weight fluctuating is not even good on your organs, for one.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm listening, I'm interested on not just because I'm married to have the sacredness of my husband picking that's like, to me, in my head, in my ears, I'm hearing he's choosing your ring.
It is literally so beautiful. Listen to me, and I will tell you this. So I do waist bead parties too. So right now, we're COVID friendly. So I'm going to say I do 10. I used to do 15 people, but I brought it down to 10 now just to keep it, COVID friendly. Everybody has to wear masks. But if you and your girlfriends want to have a little get together, brunch set up or whatever, I can come. I come with a nice waist bead setup. I have rosé, champagne. I give a little education about the history of waist beads. And then I'll fit everybody in their, own set of waist beads. And as a host, the host gets actually a free set of waist beads. So listen to me. Most of the waist bead parties that I do, these is husbands that reach out to me that they've heard from somebody and they're like, listen, me and my wife, we have an anniversary coming up, blah, 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 blah. Can you come do this? And I get there and the wives have no idea. It's tears every time. It is the most beautiful thing because I feel like it's so thoughtful. It's really, really thoughtful. And, I haven't been married yet, but it just makes me think like how sacred, marriage is. And if that, that's something that you and your husband and your partner, your life partner share, and like nobody else knows about it. It's just between y'all. You know what I mean? It's just something beautiful about that. And like I said, I'm like, you can go stand in the mirror naked, just look at yourself, turn around. Like they're just very, very pretty to look at. But just on the marriage side of it, it's beautiful every time. But I get a lot of the husbands that reach out to me to do waist bead parties for their wives. And it's beautiful. It really is.
Wow. That, like I said, on the other side in our culture, it would be him going to the store, picking out the perfect ring for his wife. And in the same sense of him picking beads, that's shared just between him and her. That's beyond you going to buy matching cars and outfits. Okay.
Listen to me. You're going to make me come to Detroit because first of all, I always want to come. I always want to. And I do travel. I travel now with my waist beads. I always have my waist beads. And one of my friends is actually from Chicago. And, I'm like, Detroit, excuse me. People from Detroit probably are sick of people bringing up like Motown, because I'm like, you probably are raised on Motown, you know what I mean? And it's probably like, we've been doing this, y'all, like y'all, you know what I mean? But I'm such like a tourist in that sense. I'm like, I want to go to Detroit so bad. She's like, yeah, you gotta come. So listen, I don't know how long the flight is to get there, but I
don't know. I don't think it's
we may have to set something up from New Jersey.
Yes, you gotta come here. And I've been to New Jersey, but I wasn't in Elizabeth. I went to New Brunswick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I was there for a hot second. I don't even know if I want to claim as I really been there, but I was there for a hot second. I was in New York for a hot second, literally. And then we were back on an 18-hour drive. At the time, I was living in Alabama. Oh my God, I would never do that again. But yeah, so we're gonna have to figure this out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I want to fit you in your waist beads. I'm gonna send you a kit too, but we're gonna set something up and you could tell your sister, whoever, we could set up a little waist bead party.
We're gonna have to definitely do that because again, to me, it's serving different purposes. And like you said, for the milestones, for all of these things that I just want to celebrate. I talk to my sister all the time about we have to learn to celebrate the small victories.
Yes.
Whatever that is. And I was saying maybe 4 shows ago, maybe, I can't remember. I told everyone, as a woman, at least once, try out for a modeling gig. Mm-hmm. The confidence I got from walking the runway I cannot go backwards, period. I refuse. And I learned more about myself getting ready for this show than I was expecting. I did some things, some first that I've never done before. And it was more so celebrating women all together. I've never been, or my eyes have never been open to celebrating different versions of women. I was so excited. So it was different shades,
Yes.
the height, the width, the these out here, none to, I was like, oh my God, we are all different. No two models look the same. And what you're telling me is have more confidence in yourself as a woman.
Yes.
And because you walk in that confidence, there's so many other women actually watching you that you even know about. So I'm saying I commend you, not only because of where your mindset and focus is right now. I'm assuming that you're younger than me. And then on top of that, you know where you're going. And that's cool because at your age, and I'm sure you're probably half my age, maybe.
I just turned 34.
Yeah, you're younger than me. You have this, like, I'm taking the world by storm and nobody's going to stop me. Instead of somebody's in your ear telling you who you are. And that's great. When I tell you, a lot of people at your age or younger, brainwashed. For you to know who you are and not allowing anyone else to tell you otherwise is very commendable. Very.
Oh, don't have me cry, please.
I'm telling you, it's not the norm. It's not. And for you to tell me something of importance like this, I'm telling you, at your age, this is very commendable. Yeah, stay, when I tell you.
No, I appreciate that.
Focus. Like, and I will tell anybody, live your best life now before settling to get married. There's a whole different ball game when it comes to being married.
Oh my goodness.
You're a whole nother person.
I already know. I mean, it's been so much going on out here, but I just feel like even just my dating pool is just weird. It's just a very weird experience. So right now, I'm just listening to everything that you're saying, and I just know that I'm like, what I'm doing doesn't feel like work to me, and that is what I've been doing. I know I'm young, but I've had a lot of experiences, and I know like going to school has granted mature
for your age, like you're older than what you are, which is a good thing. Because you don't seem, like some people you could talk to, you be like, okay, they get it. And then some people like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Did you
I know exactly what you mean.
Did you what? And so again, like I told you, I connected from you. I don't know what it is. And I'm going to say it was meant to be.
Yes.
Because you felt like family to me from the time we talked on the phone. Never saw your face, none of that. And I was like, okay, I am so geeked to talk to her because you educated me, and I'm sitting up here being 43, listening as an adult, as a student of knowledge, coming from you. And I'm not intimidated. You know how like some people are. Like, look, she's telling me something I had no idea about.
Yes. And that is it right there. Like, I am just so grateful for the network of women that I have in my life. I'm telling you. And just thinking about, I was raised in a house full of women, we all stick together, we support each other, and just even going into my sorority sisters, like I have such a great network. And I feel like, connecting with my mother, who is in her 50s and she's at a different phase at her life, but we need each other. And there's so many gaps and disconnect with women, Black women at different ages. And I feel like it's so much to be learned. And if we just open up and have an open heart and open mind to talk to each other, we will learn so much, because y'all know some secrets. Y'all have secrets to life that we don't know. And we have secrets to life too, that currently in the life that we're living, that we can exchange and learn and grow from each other. So it's just opening a sisterhood, and my pop-up shop that I do, it is just a great supporting network, because my pop-up shop is, I like to say, it's not like regular pop-up shops where people just come and shop and leave. It's a network that I like to start where everybody talks to each other before the pop-up shop. We network and market together. It's not just, the creator of it is the one. No, everybody markets together. We make sure we follow each other. We talk about, social media techniques and all kinds. And I'm talking about, I have vendors of all ages, and that's the beautiful thing. I'm trying to get younger vendors, because there's younger people now that are 10, 11, 12, 13 years old and have full functioning businesses, because that's the world we live in. And even younger than that, you have millionaire kids, toddlers, that's the generation that we live in. So it's like, we are all a part of it, and us working together, Black women together, is a force. And like, I love being a Black woman. Okay. A Black Muslim woman at that. Like, it's just, I love just everything about divine feminine energy. And that's what we need to work on. Definitely.
So does your name have a meaning to it?
Yes. Ameerah means leader, queen leader. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm blessed that I don't have a slave name, I would say. Born and raised Muslim, Ameerah Abdur Rahman, queen, leader, servant to the merciful. That is my full name. Like, I'm just trying to live in my purpose. I really, really am. And I think names are very, very powerful. And yeah.
I agree. Mine was Camila Aisha, and it was the perfect one of life. So for me, it was, are you sure y'all realize what y'all named me? And I was like, okay, that's pressure. But at the same time, now as a mature person, it's getting people to to respect the name, and to understand that we all have purpose here, and we all have to do what we're called to, and created to do. So again, this relationship that was in the 6 degrees of separation with Main Event, it was more to it than just we're going to talk on the phone. This is more so a sisterhood connection, on top of getting me the start of another chapter to my life of getting this weight loss thing together. Getting back to who I am as a woman, as a wife, as a sister, as an aunt. All of these things wrapped into, now I want to embark into this. I want to learn more of my heritage instead of what is being told to me in a book.
You know what? It's really all what you choose to focus on. And I'm learning that. Like it's so many things going on, but it's really all what you choose to focus on in life. And I don't, I have to say this because I don't want, I think you definitely get it. You know what the waist beads are about. Like I'm happy that you're excited about it. But, I get some women who come up to me and they're like, I just want to lose weight. I want to put waist beads on, but I don't want to put them on right now. I want to wait till I lose some weight. And I'm just like, no. You put them on at the size that you are now. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter what size you are, you can wear it too. You can wear a waist bead. You get me? And because it's about loving and accepting yourself where you at. And the waist beads are going to go with you on your journey in life. They're going to go with you on your journey. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful experience to have. And when I wear my waist beads, I feel confident. I feel, confident in myself, and just know that, listen, I'm on my journey. I am on my journey. If it's something, if I have a gathering or something or anything that I want to celebrate personally, I'm going to put on a waist bead. I use them as like personal little goals and things like that, so it's good. It's something good to focus on right now.
So, how if a person was looking for these somewhere, where would a person outside of you, where would they look to buy waist beads?
You know what? I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. Instagram right now, I feel like everybody should have an Instagram. I think Facebook is still helpful. It is still a great tool. So social media wise, it's changed a lot throughout the years, but Instagram and TikTok are the apps right now. If you just put a simple hashtag search into Instagram and you put waist beads or waist beads for sale, it's going to open up a completely different world for you. So I always say, listen, you can literally buy waist beads from anywhere in the world. But what makes what I'm doing different is that I'm going to educate you about it. I just don't want you to take the waist beads and go run and put them on. I want you to know and understand what you're putting on your body. So I will say that Instagram, you could probably still find some great waist bead pages through Facebook too. But I'm going to say, if you want to start with Instagram first, put a simple hashtag search of waist beads or hashtag waist beads for sale, and I'm sure you will find some.
Are the waist beads based on a regular price, or the more beads that you have to put on, does it go that way?
Well, you know what? They're going to range in price depending on the website. They are definitely going to range in price. I sell them in packets that range from $20 to $25. And I also have wholesale options if you're interested in just buying them more in bulk. But in addition to the waist beads, I also sell other, different African novelties, copper bracelets and anklets and things of that sort. So I'm going to say maybe the most expensive waist bead I have together in a pack is probably $50, because you can get them individually depending on the size of the bead for $7. I can do 3 for $20, and you can mix and match them. So yeah, they definitely range in price, but I'm telling you, once you see these waist beads, you'll forget about the prices. You're just gonna think that they're so beautiful. You're just gonna be like, give them to me. I need them.
So on the average, so is it just one bead, or is it several beads connected all the way around you?
So you know what? It really depends on the person. And as I'm sitting here, I had my bag that I wanted to at least show you. This is so crazy right now that I'm saying this, but yeah, so you can get them purchased individually as it's just like a single string. It's a yarn string, but then you also have some that are oh, mom is echoing, she's laughing in the back. Yeah, so you have smaller beads or you have the bigger beads. I'm sorry, I digress. What were we talking about? Bring me back.
Oh, is it one or two, or is the beads that go around your whole way? Is it?
Yeah, so it's gonna go literally around your body. It's gonna go right around your body, and it's one bead, but you can add multiple beads on. You can add as many as you want. Don't like you can literally go crazy. Like I said, some people I say start with at least 3. That's my recommendation, to start with at least 3 waist beads. But some people go more. Some people start with 6. Some people want more than that. Like it's literally just like some people stack them like Legos and they just want to have as many as they want, you know? So okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get an idea what possibly they look like. Whether it's the idea of a belt, or there's the one that might stick at your stomach and then you just have this, you know, I'm like, okay, how you know, mentally I'm trying to figure this out in my head.
Oh my gosh, I'm so mad at myself right now. And I'm like, my bag. Can you back to that bag right there, Mom? Yeah. That's how crazy of me. Okay, I'm gonna see. I literally always have waist beads somewhere in my bag. I know I do. Oh, you see this? And let's see if we can find some real quick. That. Oh yeah, let me see. Are those mine? No, the ones that okay, for me. Thank you, Mom. No, it's cool. Okay, so these are my mother's that I had on her. So this is just, and that's the thing, it's going to be kind of hard to see them, but this is a waist bead that I put on my mom. Let me see if I can get it closer. So you see how small that is? Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is literally going to go around your waist.
Okay.
Let me see. So I have some that glow in the dark. So these have some butterflies on them. These butterflies glow in the dark. So you have some nice fun ones that you can put on. And I mean, who doesn't want something to glow in the dark on their waist? You know what I mean? Like they're just really, really fun. This is one that I designed. You know, it's just a collection of beautiful glass beads, and they're just so fun. You can mix and match them as much as you want. These are what I call the goddess beads. The goddess beads are bigger beads. Let me see if I can.
You know, those are cute. Is that a heart?
Yes, this is a heart. So this, I'm telling you, me showing them to you like this, that's been no guessing. Even after this, you can call me and I have to show you one of my cases that I carry with me.
Okay. I'm gonna call you tonight. So I know an hour goes so fast when you're having fun. And I'm so glad. I was hoping that you wouldn't be nervous. I'm like, it's just me.
Thanks, brother. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I was a little nervous because I'm like, you know what? I've never like I'm pretty like I talk all the time, but I'm like, I've never really done anything like this. Like, I had to think for a minute. You know, like I said, as much as I do the virtual thing, I'm like, this is the first time I'm, you know, like, so I'm like, I was a little nervous. And my mom was like, Ameerah, you're fine. Literally just hearing my mother say that to me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, no more practice. Hello?
It's not that bad, but I truly enjoyed this, and I'm hoping that the women that are on, please like and share the video and to go back into watching it. Again, I am definitely going to get some, not just because She's sending it to me, but I'm going to get some more also, where I'm on a personal goal for myself. And I know this is another way to make sure that I'm checking myself with my weight loss, and also to support you as a another woman business. And again, when I tell you stay focused, keep focusing, to there is no limit. Trust me. And so again, thank you for taking this time out tonight to talk to me. I'm sure Main Event is watching somewhere. And again, thank you so much. And I have another show after this, and after that, I will call you tonight.
Oh, you get some rest. I have your number. Okay. So
Okay.
you're gonna get some rest tonight after your show and call me. We will talk, we will chat, but I have to get out there to Detroit. Definitely.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I do.
So we will sometime this week before Christmas, we will definitely chat it up and see where another connection can be made, and see where we can go from there.
Definitely. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Like, I had so much fun doing this. This was fun. This was really, really fun. And
Absolutely.
If I could just give like a really, really quick shout out to my uncle. Thank you, Uncle. Main Event. Please follow if you guys have time. Just a few pages. I need Eastwick Apparel Company, Eastwick, Elizabeth, New Jersey, The Law, Jersey City, The Cake Pop Lady on Instagram. I am Femwick on Instagram, and she is Imani B on Instagram. Those are some of my beautiful family members that are already out here thriving, doing beautiful things out here in this world. And yes, if you would follow them, I would appreciate that.
I think they're in your bio. So I probably will tonight cut and paste those from that and put them on as comments on the show tonight. So I will definitely do that to this evening. So again, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sunshine, I told you, I love your name. That's beautiful. One of my favorite songs. But
well, again, I will talk to you soon, and you enjoy the rest of your evening, ma'am.
Yes, you too. Be safe out there, please. Please.
I will. You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye.